Hello, welcome to One Rod Rob again. Well, here we are on the south coast of Dorset. I'm on the very east side of Chesil. It's the very start of Chesil Beach. Chesil Beach runs about 18 miles that way, so we're right at the very start of it just here. This particular mark, I've never fished this mark before, first time. But I do know it's very, very rocky out there, very, very snaggy. So I am using a rotten bottom rig, which I will show you a bit later on. Many variations of rotten bottom rigs. I've just gone for the most simplest rotten bottom rig you can. So, but I'll show you that in a bit. I've just done my first cast out now. I'm just waiting for my hermit crabs to defrost. So at the moment I've got some black lug out there, but I've only got a couple of, maybe 3 or 4 more worms of black lug, because I was hoping to fish with the hermits. I have got some mackerel with me as well, but we'll start with the black lug. That's the first cast, as I say. I do think I will be snagging them, hence why I've got the rotten bottom rig on there, but we'll see how we get on. First cast, give me a little pouting. It's only a little one. Still got a bit of the black lug in its mouth there. Get this one back. So yeah, first cast, little pouting. It's always nice to get that first fish. So I've now got hermit crab out there on a single hook, but I'm going to alternate the baits a little bit now, purely because I've just realised I've got a bit more black lug than I thought. So I've probably got 2 or 3 casts that I could get with the black lug, and looks like I might have a little bite, another little pouting on there. Anyway. So what it is, I've got a hook length with a pennel hook on and a hook length with just the main hook on there. So when it's just the main hook, I'll just put a hermit crab on, and I'm still waiting for that to defrost properly. And then with the pennel hook, I'll put the black lug on. Basically just because the pennel hook holds the bait better and better presentation. So until the black lug's gone, and then I'll get another hook length out with just a single hook on, and then I'll have 2 hook lengths with a single hook on, and then I'll just be using the hermit crab, and maybe I might use a bit of mackerel, just see how the fishing goes. I've never even heard of anyone fishing from here before, because it is known as being really difficult to fish here, but I just wanted to give it a try. I just thought, you know, it's a challenge. I know it's really very, very rocky out there, and it's going to be very, very snaggy, hence why I'm using a rotten bottom rig, and I've got braid line on as well. So yeah, but like I say, I'll show you the rotten bottom rig in a bit. I was getting loads of little knocks, and that's all that come back of the hermit crab. So whether there's crabs out there, lobsters, very possibly, but yeah, it's just tiny little movements in the rod all the time like that. So I've just put some black lug on now. As I say, I'm alternating the baits at the moment. So this is the rotten bottom rig I'm using here. I'll just unhook that and then you'll see. So it's just like a pulley rig. Well, it is a pulley rig. I don't know why I said that. So my hook length's on here, so that can pull through, look. So there's my hook length going down, and there's my black lug with a pennel hook at the top and the main hook at the bottom there, and then the main line coming down from the pulley here comes down to a canny link. So if you don't know what the canny link is, I'll just show you that quickly. So I've just got, if you can see it on spinning now, look, that there. So that's just a very short piece of weak link. It's about £12, that's all that is, £12. And then I've got this loop on here, which is obviously the main line, which is a £100 line there with a canny link on. And what you do, this bottom, it's hard to do while I'm trying to hold the camera, but that bottom link there goes into the lead. Try and do it one-handed if I can. No, I won't be able to. And then that one there is where I put the main hook from the bait. So when it hits the bottom, obviously I'm fishing with the heavy duty line and then a hook length which has got about £30 amnesia on. And then this is the weak link here, just a very short weak link, probably what, I don't know, 3-4 inches, that's all. So if I do snag up, I've got no wires on either. These leads, by the way, these are ones that I moulded myself for grippers and or for experimental things, hence why it's got a slot in it. I was just experimenting. So these leads are like no good for anything else really, so I don't mind if I do lose these. As I say, there's loads and loads of ways of doing rotten bottom rigs, but I find this is nice and simple and you don't lose a lot of gear, and these canny links are so cheap to buy, and it's just like on a loop there, look, perfection loop or whatever you want to call it, and basically that's it. And what I tend to do is I'll spin this around like this and keep spinning it around so that the weak link line all twists up on itself, because it doesn't matter about that, it just keeps it out of the way of the hook length. But then this will just spin out by itself on the bottom of the seabed, and it doesn't matter if it didn't anyway. It's still a weak link. So anyway, yeah, I'll just hook that back up again and then I'll show you again. But there you go. Just for the video purposes, I didn't bother twisting the line up. So there's the weak link line, look, and the canny link goes through there, look, through the eye of the lead, and then there's my bait hook there, around there. I'll say when it hits the bottom it'll just all come loose, and then I'll be fishing the lead just on the weak link there. But I've still got £30 on the hook length and a £100 rig body. These rocks here go right out, and then the rocks down here go right out and curl right the way around here, and the whole of the seabed is rocky all the way out there until it gets to about here, and then there's a bit of a gap here, and it's only like 20 metres at tops, 20-metre gap between the rocks there. There's still rocks there, but nowhere near as thick and heavy as they are everywhere else. So you can cast from here out there to roughly 117 metres before you'll start hitting the heavy rocks again. So I'm roughly casting about 110 metres out to this spot here, just to the right of where that gap is, basically because we've got a westerly wind on as well, and I don't want my line swooping round and getting hooked on these rocks over here. So I'm casting that over to there. Hopefully my lead lands about there, around about 110 metres, which I know is just in enough before I hit all the other big rocks. And if my line does swoop round, because don't forget I haven't got a gripper on, if my line does swoop round, hopefully it'll keep away from all the rocks that are over here. Well, here's a hermit crab I've baited up ready. So it's the whole hermit crab, claws, everything, and hook length well proud at the back there. I'm hoping it sits on the bottom either like this, whatever. But this is just like full of juice, look. So all the belly of it, the main body of the hermit crab is all tucked up here, and then bait elastic on, and like leave the hook very, very proud on this. So one thing I didn't mention was that there is a bit of colour in the water, where I've got it about 2 hours after high tide, so it's actually flowing out again now, which is okay. It wasn't ideal, not my best, I preferred it like an hour or whatever, probably an hour or two after low tide, and when it's coming back in on the flood. That's my preferred time to fish, but sometimes you just gotta fish when you can. And with all the Christmas shopping done, out the way, everything, got a few hours this afternoon, and I thought, you know what, even though it's not my preferred time, I'll make the most of it and go fishing. I'm not sure I had a bite then. Right, I've snagged, but that was definitely a good bite. I'm going to let it, give it some loose line, and hopefully it'll pull the lead out for me. A little bit bigger than the last one, but still only small. Right, I'm going to get a hermit crab on now. So that was a classic case of not being too impatient. It was a good bite on there. I've got to be honest, I thought it was something better than that pattern, but it was a good bite, and then I started reeling in, and then it just snagged up on me. So more than likely the fish went into the rocks or something like that, but it was well and truly snagged. But I gave it some loose line. I've got another bite, I think. I gave it some loose line and just left it for a second and kept holding the rod, and then I felt it again and obviously started reeling in, and obviously it had pulled the either come out of the rocks or it had pulled the lead free. So yeah, definitely another bite on there now. same thing's happened again now, snagged again. So I'll leave the line loose and hopefully it'll pull free. No, still snagged. Hopefully he's just the lead weight, because then the weak link comes into play. So I'm just going to leave it a bit longer, because sometimes it does take a bit longer for it to come loose by itself. If the fish drags it out, that's if there is still a fish there, or if there was a fish there. It's a proper bite though. Sometimes if it's like a conger, they will dart into the rocks and they will sit there for quite a while. I'll see what happens and then I'll put the camera back on. Right, on this occasion it weren't coming through, so I've had to snap it. Hopefully it has just snapped the lead off. Which is exactly what's happened. So I've got me hook length back, got all my rig body back, and there's the weak link coming into play. So I've lost the lead, no big deal, say they were only scrap leads anyway. So I'll put another lead on there now and get a fresh bait on and get that cast out. So I was saying I'm only using a short weak link in the line, but now this one is just too short to tie another lead on there. So I've just put a whole new rig body on with one with obviously a bit longer weak link on there. I'm just going to snap this one off now and tie a fresh weak link onto this one. So there you go, look, snap that off. So I'll tie a new weak link onto there, and then this rig will be ready again for casting out later, if I need to, that is. Right, so here you go, look, I've just tied in another weak link. That was the one that I lost the lead on, so now it's got another lead on. Weak link tied on, up to the loop, up above the knot of the loop there. So that's ready to go back again now, if need be. You know, if I snag again and lose another lead out there, at least I've got this one ready to go, and then I'll just do the same with that one, put another new weak link on. This one's a little bit longer than what I had before, but only by an inch or two, but it doesn't really matter. I'm happy with that. I've got a nice juicy hermit crab ready. Got the black lug out there at the moment. Yeah, I've had a couple of pouts. Here you are, good bite. Feels better. Oh. Well, that to be, didn't it, I suppose. Definitely felt a better bite anyway, but it is just a strap. So there you go. Strap, lively bugger. Let's get him straight back. So I hadn't noticed until I went to put a fresh bait on, but that strap conger, that must have got snagged as well, because that had snapped the weak link, so I lost another lead there. So good job I did re-link up that other one. I mean, I have got others in my box, but it saves getting new ones out all the time. So again, tie a new weak link onto that that rig, and so this is back to the original rig, and then get some more baits ready. I put my rod up a bit higher. I'm getting false indications, and it's because there's some weed about. There's some weed getting on my line and making it bounce about a bit, thinking I've got a fish and it's not. So I'll put the line up, put the rod up quite a bit higher now. Try and stop that a bit. But yeah, bring on the next fish. Well, so far it's been a nice couple of hours. I say it's been a challenge really, because how snaggy it is and that, and I've lost a few leads, but you know, I was prepared for that, and I have had fish from here. It's only been poutings and strap congers, you know, but at the end of the day I've caught fish here, you know, and I've found out that it is fishable using the right gear. So I bought my heavier duty rod, heavier duty as in my rods, all the rods that I've got. This is probably the heaviest duty one I've got out of all of them, and using braid line, using a fixed spool, and as I showed earlier, the rotten bottom rigs, they've worked brilliantly. It's been great. It's gone a bit quiet on me for the last sort of 45 minutes, an hour, just not getting anything at all. I have got some mackerel with me, and I think I might try a strip of mackerel, because mackerel doesn't freeze very well. So once it's defrosted, I mean, so I might as well try and use some of it up. Hermit crabs, you can refreeze them, they're okay. So I've still got quite a few hermit crabs with me. Used all the black lug earlier, and so yeah, I will use some mackerel. But while we've got this bit of light, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's followed my channel. I'm really overwhelmed, to be honest with you. It's been really good. I know I haven't got many subscribers, you know, 2,000 whatever, but I have had some really good views on my channel, so I really do appreciate that. I also want to say a big thank you to all those that donated. Again, I never asked for donations. These people just did it out of the kindness of their own heart. And again, I haven't had very many of them, but that's not the point. It just shows the appreciation, and I really appreciate it. So a big thank you to Richard Jarvis, Hardcore Scott, you know who you are, mate, Kojak, Andrew Jones. I'm not sure if anybody else, to be honest. I think they're the only people that have ever donated. But if there is anyone else that I've missed out, I do apologise. But I can assure you, it's very, very much appreciated. It does take a lot of effort doing these videos. I've got to be honest. It's you know, you're out fishing. Fishing's hard enough anyway, concentrating on the fishing. But doing the videos as well, it's really, really quite hard. You've got to remember to, you know, charge your batteries up and all that sort of stuff. Bring an extra tripod for the camera, which is what this is sat on now. So you're carrying more gear, and you know, and bait is, you know, expensive now and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, any donations have, honestly, they've been really appreciated. And normally the donations that I have had, I just put it towards bait. So again, a big thank you. Thank you to the moderators as well, Richard, Kojak, and any other mods that I've got, I can't remember now, but so big thanks to you as well. So yeah, it's not the end of the video, by the way. I'm just wanted to get that in now while I've still got a bit of daylight. So big thanks to everyone. It's 23rd of December today. The light's fading. All the Christmas shopping's done, all that sort of stuff. I had a couple of hours spare this afternoon, so that's why I thought I'll come out and try this really snaggy area. I'm really pleased that I have done it, because I've learned a lot from it, to be honest with you, and I'm so glad I've been using them rotten bottoms. Yeah, so I've caught fish, nothing great I know, just a couple of paintings and strap conger. But at the end of the day, I've caught fish from here. You never get locals fish here ever. You might get the odd holiday maker and they'll cast out 20-30 yards or something, because otherwise you will just snag up. I wanted to cast out further than that, so as I showed you earlier, I wanted to get within that gap if I could, which I have been doing. I have still snagged up a couple of times, but as you know, the rotten bottoms kicked in, which was a good thing. So, and I'm not done yet. I'm still going to carry on fishing, so stay tuned. Merry Christmas, everybody. Right, I've just put a strip of mackerel on, nice fresh mackerel. Quite a big strip anyway. And I've cast this one out a lot further than I have been. Mainly because the tide's obviously out now. So I'm able to get obviously closer to the shoreline, but I also give it a bit more welly than I have been. So this one's out quite a bit further. Light's fading for me now, so I've got to get the head torch out. I'm struggling to see the end of the rod now. But yeah, so we'll see how that gets on. Just got my head torch on, and now the heavens have opened up. It started raining. Temperatures dropped quite a bit as well. Still, I've only just cast that mackerel out, so I'm going to brave it out for a bit longer. Right everybody, that strip of mackerel didn't do anything either. I've not had a bite now for probably an hour and a half, so I've decided to call it a day. As you can see, it's dark now anyway. So it's been a fantastic session. I did intend to just come out for a couple of hours, to be honest, but it's like 3.5 hours now, nearly 4 hours. So I know I've only had a couple of paintings and a strap conger, but at the end of the day, I'm really chuffed about coming and fishing here. I've learnt so much about this part of the beach now. I'm definitely going to come back and fish here again. I think, personally, my view is this would fish better if there was an easterly. Today we've got a westerly wind. I think it'd be better if there was an easterly wind on to fish in this area, just because of the way the land lies, you know. But anyway, that's for another day. We'll try that again. So once again, if you are here watching, thanks very much. Appreciate all your help, all the support I've had over the year. I've had a cracking year. I've not fished that much, to be honest, but I have had some really decent fish this year, so I'm chuffed about that. So yeah, if you've been watching my videos, really do appreciate your support, and Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody has a fab time with all the families. I'm back up to the Midlands to go and visit all my family, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, Merry Christmas everyone, and see you in the new year. All the best. Bye bye.